Look at this table and how exciting this is. We're doing a little Captivate lens guide. Stick around. Hello and welcome. I'm Eyeglass Tyler. Today we are looking at the Wiley X Captivate lens collection. We're going to be going over how the lens technology works. We're going to talk about what that means for your visual experience. And we're going to glance at the individual lens colors so that you can decide if Captivate lenses deserve to be in your next pair of Wiley X sunglasses. Hint, we think they do. If at the end of this video you are ready to order, do not forget about SportRx and definitely don't forget about our See Better guarantee, because with that, you're never stuck with something that you don't like or just doesn't work for you. You have as long as 45 days with them, even if you get them in prescription, and then we take care of you no matter what that means on our end. And also, by the way, we have opticians who would love to help you get it right the first time, so you can always reach out to us and utilize our knowledge. We'd love to hear from you. Let's talk about Captivate. We're talking Captivate lenses, and we're going to start with a little science talk. What are we talking about? What does this lens have to offer? Well, we have to talk about the visible light spectrum, that VLS. So what does that mean? That's just the spectrum of light and the part of the spectrum that we are able to see. And there are colors that exist in there. It's full of an array of colors. Some of these areas our eyes can see more easily, like reds, greens, blues. Other areas, however, are more difficult to see or even harmful to the human eye. So let's focus on those tough areas. First off, where colors merge together, like where the blue overlaps green, it creates confusing light and decreases clarity. It's not like there's just a really stark line. Like when you're looking at a rainbow painted on a picture, if it's a simple painting or a simple picture, usually you see a very clean, stark line in between all the different colors, but that's not reality. Reality is that there is a blend of colors. It's not like there's a clean and clear line. And so what Captivate helps to do is to filter out this confusing light so that the color spectrum is actually more vivid and is more clear. And with that, you get increased clarity and greater contrast. Now, if we're talking about harmful light, of course, the most well-known harmful light spectrum is going to be UV. That is right before the visible light spectrum, things that our eyes can actually see. And we've known for a long time that that is damaging. But also, I am sure you're not new to this idea of blue light. They otherwise call it HEV, or high energy visible radiation. This is a little newer that we're realizing is also damaging. There's a ton of information on this. I'll go into it just a little bit. Essentially, it is the light spectrum that comes right after the UV spectrum, which is up to about 400. That's that UV spectrum. The bad blue light that the Captivate lens tech cuts ranges between the 380 and 430 nanometer wavelength range on the visible light spectrum. So there's a misconception here, and that blue light is only coming off of digital displays, digital screens. I'm sure that you've heard of it because they're saying, hey, you're looking at your computer more, you're looking at your phone, you should have blue light glasses. It doesn't only exist on, if you're following along, this will make sense. It doesn't only exist on these unnatural digital displays or indoor artificial light. It is a part of the light spectrum, just like the UV light is. And so this is something that is definitely out there in the everyday world. And so the Captivate lens is going to help give you that added protection against that long-term damage that HEV, that high energy visible light, can cause. Captivate lenses are actually the only premium polarized eyewear that blocks out all blue light up to 430 nanometers. You will get superior protection against all the harmful light and conserve the integrity of your vision. It's pretty neat. So now that we know how it all works, let's review what that means for your visual experience. Enhanced color. It is going to filter out that confusing light in the color spectrum that is difficult for the human eye to interpret and see, and you're going to therefore get a more true color experience. You also get greater clarity, and that's because it's cutting out that bad blue light, which can actually create haze. And since the Captivate lens tech blocks this haze, you get crisper vision. You will also get better depth perception, and that is thanks to that separation and enhancing of colors on the color spectrum. Just makes it easier to interpret the things that you're looking at and better understand the thing that your eye is seeing. Now that whole blue light, bad blue light, good blue light thing is actually real, and this can help to increase awareness as well as elevate mood, because that good blue light regulates the body's circadian rhythm, which is your sleep-wake cycle, by blocking out that bad blue light but allowing that good blue light in, and you will still get the benefits of the good blue light with this lens tech, which also helps to elevate your mood. And probably that's because you're getting a more natural sleep cycle. But there are also, there's a lot of science behind it that I for sure can't give you that much of, just because I'm not a scientist. I'm just a humble optician. But the blue light, there is something in it that definitely helps with your mood. And so getting that good blue light will help elevate your mood. With some of these lens colors, you have a much more contrast enhancing base color, which is going to be the copper. There are even some greens that are a little bit contrasty, but if you're looking for something contrast enhancing that'll make it easier to discern one thing from another because the differences between colors are heightened, then check out those contrast enhancing colors, which we'll get into in just a moment. But before we look at the individual colors, there are a few key features that apply to all Captivate lenses. Polarization. I keep saying Captivate polarized lenses because they are all polarized, which is really nice. Definitely something to be aware of though, because it's not ideal for every single sport, every single application. I would say absolutely for just a general across the board use, I always recommend polarized. I think it's a really beneficial feature that helps to cut annoying and unnecessary light. But there are some other implications on that. If you want to know more about the kind of getting into the weeds about polarization, we have other videos we can link and you can check those out. But other things you can get from the Captivate lens tech is an oleophobic and hydrophobic coating. That means that it's more resistant to oil and water, dirt and dust from sticking to the lens, which means they stay cleaner, but they're also easier to clean. Less smudging, less water spots, really I think a given. It's a necessity now to have these better oleophobic and hydrophobic coatings. And of course, if we're talking coatings, we can't not talk about scratch resistance. And if we're talking scratch resistance, we need to talk about that Bayer abrasion test. What is that? Well, it is where they test an uncoated lens right next to your coated lens. They scratch them all up and then they judge the difference in how scratched they are. And a Bayer 4 rating is considered a premium coating. And you're getting a Bayer 7 rating on all of the Captivate lenses. So you know that these are going to be very scratch resistant. And also, by the way, ANSI rated, because all Wiley X lenses pass strict ANSI regulations. And if it seems like it couldn't get any better, it does, because they're all available in prescription, which is amazing. And I love when I get to say that because I'm also a prescription wearer. And that means that I get to benefit from this amazing lens tech as well. And as do you get to if you're a prescription wearer. And if you have any questions about that, by the way, reach out to our opticians, because there are, of course, parameters. If you have a really strong prescription, it might be trouble. But anyway, probably we can do your prescription, and our opticians are going to help you with that. Okay, let's talk about the lenses now. This is fun. There are 8 color options. Again, they're all polarized. I will review them briefly here, but we actually have individual reviews for each color. So if you want to know more information about a specific color, check out those videos. We're going to start with the non-mirrored lenses here. And we have, of course, just the ever classic, ever popular gray lens, which is going to be what you'd want if you just want no frills, just a really good lens tech, that color control with the Captivate lens tech, but no additional coatings. Then you can go for the gray, and that's going to be that really neutral, not contrast enhancing. It's going to be very true to world color perception with the gray. And then right after that is the copper. That would be the option you'd want if you want something that is contrast enhancing, really color boosting, vivid color perception. It'll make it easier to differentiate one thing from another because of the heightened differences between the colors, but with no mirror coating on top of this. The copper lens is also the one that you would want to go with if you want a little more versatility. This is actually going to be good in bright sunny days for sure, but also way better than the darker colors in cloudy and overcast days. And now all of the rest of these lenses are going to have a mirror coating on it. and the name of the lens color will be indicative of the mirror coating color. So we have the Captivate blue mirror here, which comes with a gray base, so that neutral base. And we have the Captivate green mirror here, which is going to be a copper base, so contrast enhancing. Then we have the bronze mirror, which is also copper. Red mirror is a gray base. Rose gold mirror, beautiful, with a green base. And then a platinum flash, again with a green base. And that green base is a little more unique. I kind of talked about it a little bit at the very beginning of this, in that you have very neutral, which is gray, and then you have very contrast enhancing, which is copper. And then you have green, which isn't as neutral as gray, but closer to the neutral end of the spectrum. That's a very cool lens as well. All of these are going to do well in bright sun, but a few of them, especially the contrast enhancing ones, are going to do well also in lower light overcast conditions. And the reason for that is because the contrast enhancing element of that lens, that copper base color, is going to make colors seem more vivid, which almost gives the perception that you're getting more light to your eyes, but just makes it a more compatible lens to lower light conditions and changing light conditions. So keep that in mind too. So that wraps it up for our complete lens guide on the amazing Captivate lens lineup. I hope that the additional knowledge under your belt helps with you making a decision on what lens will be right for you. And if you have decided, again, don't forget about that See Better guarantee. I think it gives you a ton of peace of mind. I think it's really amazing. And also, if you want even more peace of mind, these opticians would love to help you. You can always call us. We love hearing your voice and we love helping you out. So reach out to us. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was interesting or valuable information, exactly what you were looking for. And if so, throw us a like, because that helps us out. You can find relevant videos over here. And also we have great content on our social media outlets. I think you should check us out there too, because I think you'd like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend it. And you can find us at SportRx.